Pasa to the pack. It is Pack here.
AKA your mama's best friend, your daddy's worst nightmare.
We have an NBA player who is switching teams. I'm going to get this player in NBA 2K22, change him into the accurate team, look at his ratings, look at the new team, see how much better it got, and see how it's going to look like for NBA 2K23 because they don't update the roster until the new game comes out. Before this video starts, if you like this kind of content when it comes to news and players and ratings and stuff like that, please join the pack and subscribe. And let's get this video started. So John Wall has decided to leave the Rockets, and he said he's intending to sign with the Los Angeles Clippers. I'm in NBA 2K22. We're going to show you guys the team right now. And here you see John Wall with an 83 overall rating in a Clippers jersey is going to be considered the third best player on this team behind the big two of Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. Both these players have been battling injuries for a little bit now. This will be the first season that these two come back, and they want to fill out the team to make sure this is a championship ready team. And I can't blame the Clippers. I mean, they have the talent and the players to win championships. They better do it, right? Now, this is the thing. Because these two players were out, the Clippers were actually still playing very, very well. Throughout the regular season, a team of Marcus Morris, Zubac, Reggie Jackson, Terrence Mann, Luke Kennard, Robert Covington, Nicholas Batum, by the way, were all doing very well in the regular season and still looking like a play-in tournament team. So, throughout the regular season, even without their stars, this roster is actually pretty solid in the West. Now that you're going to add Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, Norman Powell, and now you have John Wall. You don't even need John Wall to be 100% as good as he was back with the Wizards, even if he's just half of the man he used to be in terms of a player. Obviously, relax, people. Like a 20-point per game scorer on 44% from the field. You have yourself a great player. Remember, John Wall is one of the best playmakers in the NBA. Let's say he cuts down on the points to like 13 a game, but he's still averaging 10 assists. You're looking at a great player because Norman Powell gets buckets. Paul George gets buckets. Kawhi gets buckets. And the scary thing is the defense on this team, bro, is going to be absurd. John Wall is a great defender. Paul George, I mean, the perimeter defense is just going to be absurd. And then you still have Zubac as a good center. This team is stacked. And then the bench, I mean, look at the starting lineup, right? I need you to look at the starting lineup and how scary this is. John Wall at point guard. Norman Powell shooting guard. Paul George small forward, Kawhi power forward, and then Zubac at the center. It's a great defensive lineup. Almost everyone can score by themselves on this team. Like, actually, everyone can score by themselves on the starting lineup. And your bench is stacked with Terrence Mann, Marcus Morris, Reggie Jackson, Luke Kennard, Robert Covington, Nicholas Batum. Even Coffee was having a good season last season. You have yourself a raw bench. And on top of all of this, we're not even talking about free agency and who they're going to get if they get anybody. So this team, I'm not saying they're favorites to win the championship, but they have immediately rung the sirens of this is a contending team. This is one of the best starting lineups in the NBA with one of the best benches in the NBA. This is a good team. Now, the scary thing is, can this team stay healthy? John Wall, we know, have injury problems. Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, all have injury problems. So if they can find a way to be healthy and stick with it, this is going to be a very exciting team to watch. I know there's a lot of teams in the West that are still good. The Suns will probably still be good. The Warriors are obviously going to be good. I think the Lakers will make a comeback. So you still have a lot of rosters. The Nuggets are going to be healthy. You have a lot of teams in the West that are going to be very good. This Clippers team isn't going to go away. So this is exciting. This is an exciting season, and you have a good coach, an NBA champion coach. This is only good signs pointing to a really bright future for this Clippers team. Who knows next season? That's all I'm going to say. But now let's look at the other team that is doing a very, very different thing than the Clippers are doing, and not trying to contend for championships, but trying to tank. So the Rockets. Now let's look at this new lineup. So you've lost John Wall, who's your best player, 83 overall. To be fair, John Wall wasn't going to play for the Rockets anyway, so it didn't matter, right? So now you've basically said, okay, we're going to let our young players play, develop, and get better so that we can win championships in the future, or hope to, right? So you've drafted Jabari Smith Jr. at your third pick, who's expected to be a very good NBA player. Kevin Porter Jr. has been looking really solid for the past couple years. I mean, averaging 16.6 points per game on 43% from the field isn't horrendous. 6 assists. Now he's going to be the starting point guard of the team, so now he has complete control. He's only 22, so he's getting better every season. Jalen Green, we know, is going to be very good this year. He's raw. Jae'Sean Tate actually looks pretty solid. And the rest of the team is questionable. The only other player is Alperen Sengun, who is a player they really like, a center they really like, and so they want to give him a lot more time and chances to play to get better. And you have a starting lineup of Kevin Porter Jr., Jalen Green, Garrison Matthews, it could be Jae'Sean Tate, who knows, Jabari Smith, and Alperen Sengun, all players that you have a lot of hope to get better throughout the year and develop into great talent, and you hope that maybe either Jabari Smith or Jalen Green end up being a superstar or an all-star type player very soon. This is all what the Rockets are hoping. It's full rebuild mode. It makes 100% sense for a team like that. I think this is a W for the Rockets. This is the best play they could have done. Why keep John Wall? Get him out of there. Make sure this team is ready to basically rebuild and start fresh. And even if you have another bad season like this season, now you're going to have, again, a top 3 pick. And if you're able to get Wembanyama, I think that's his name, on the French player who's 7'3", who's raw, if you end up getting him, this team is set for the next 8 years. So if this is all according to plan, this is all looking good, the Rockets, I think, have made some pretty good decisions. I'm excited for them. I'm happy for them that they're looking like they're going to be in a good position. So I actually think all around, this was a great transaction for both teams. I think this is an amazing idea for both teams. I still think the Rockets need to do a couple changes here and there. They should probably let go of Aaron Gordon or find a way. And then we'll see what they do in the future. But I think the bigger story here, obviously, at least for the next season that's coming up, is this Clippers lineup is just absolutely deadly. There's only a couple teams, I think, that can really compete. I mean, if we're just looking at starting lineups, right? If we're just looking at starting lineups, we have the Sixers, who are still pretty good. The Bucks are still pretty good. And then you could argue the Celtics. I mean, they just made a finals, sure. And then after that, starting lineups-wise, the Lakers are still technically good. The Nets, if they are keeping Kevin Durant and Kyrie, are still technically good, so they're still in the conversation. The Nuggets are going to be good next season. So there's a couple teams, but I don't say there's a single team here. The Suns, I don't see a single team here that I straight up say are better than the Clippers. I think there's teams that match up with them, like the Warriors, obviously. But do I think there's a team that's flat out better roster-wise than the Clippers right now? No, not roster-wise, not rating-wise. No, I wouldn't say that. So that's exciting. That's scary. I can't wait to see how it goes. So good for the Clippers. That's all I have to say about this. What do you think about them acquiring John Wall? Leave it in the comments below. And if you like this channel, please give it a sub. I'll see you guys next time. If you want all the latest news of NBA 2K and also NBA in general, you should follow me on my Twitter account at PackHoopsYT. Not only that, I do giveaways all the time when it comes to VC, games, and also even consoles. So check it out, follow me, and see you there.